is made up of barley, hops, water, and yeast. The brewing process is basically the cooking process. That's the brew house would be the kitchen where you boil it, you extract the flavors, the sugars out of the barley, you boil it, you cool it down, and then you put it into a fermenter, and then it's fermented, and that's the fermentation process. So that takes a couple weeks. The brewing process takes a day. What gravity measures basically is the density of a liquid. Specific gravity you can measure beer with, you can measure wine with, or you can measure glycol, like refrigerant. With beer, it gives you a reading of the amount of dissolved sugar in the beer to begin with, and that will correlate to alcohol. And so the letter P, which stands for Plato, is a scale used to define the density. So roughly, if you start with a 12 Plato beer and you end up with a 2, the difference would be 10. To get the percentage, it's roughly half of that, so about 5%. ABV, that's alcohol by volume in the beer, so your standard American lager would be 4.5 to 5%. IPA would be 7%. IBU, that's International Bittering Unit. That's going to tell the reader or the drinker how bitter the beer is. So an IPA will usually be 70 plus IBUs. An American lager would be like 5 or 10. So again, this is just to kind of educate the consumer as to what they're drinking. So when they look at the menu, and if they happen to know they like bitter beers and strong beers, they can see a high Plato, a high IBU, and that might, kind of lead them towards a certain beer.